All right. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire Dialogues.
I'm Mike Cheney.
I'm Tim Schindel.
Welcome to the show.
Yep.
No twisted teas today. Got the Cutwater margarita.
Yep.
Pretty good.
My cords. My cord problems.
Technology.
Yep.
Oh, shit. What's the news?
Nothing. Oh.
Have we done this since I got back from the honeymoon? Yeah.
Yeah, once.
Yeah, once. I was
Once.
like, couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Got the lift in this morning.
Yeah.
Got me primed
Training.
up for noon, and then I died.
It was hot. It was hot today. Hot and muggy.
Yeah, I was not hydrated properly.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had like 3 salt packets, and then today I'm like,
Well, you were having a little
I felt like
problem.
Yeah. Rough day. It's all good.
Yeah.
Rolled twice. Got it out of the system.
That'll do it.
I'll clear you right out.
Yeah. Went to Kimura Trap House
Nice.
yesterday for about an hour-ish.
Hot over there, too.
It is hot. It is hot. But, like, that, like, good
Rain.
training heat.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But most jiu-jitsu gyms don't have AC.
They
or the ones
shouldn't.
that I've been to. Yeah, I don't think they should.
Agree.
I just kind of prefer it to not.
Having, like, it's one thing to not have AC. Having a fan is okay.
Yeah.
Having some moving air.
Some circulation's nice.
Yeah, there are a couple gyms I've been to where there's no circulation. And I literally thought, like, not from, like, any kind of pressure from the round. Like, I just thought I was going to pass out because it was so hot in there. Like, somebody's on top of you and you're like, there's no moving air. Like, everything's just stifled.
I think I'm dying.
Yeah. Ronan's like that. Like, that's where I felt it. It was like a Friday night Legion project.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the middle of the summer at like 7 o'clock at night, peak heat. That building had just been sweltering all day.
Yep.
And like, it'll make you tough though. But like I can't imagine training in a gi in there. There's just no moving air. Even when they open the garage doors, like, it just doesn't matter.
There was a gym
Like,
I went to in Florida that didn't have AC, right on the beach, cooking sun all day. Like, it was hot. And, of course, gi only.
of course, yeah.
No gi rounds.
Gotta get that shit going.
It's fine once it soaks through, but, like, 2-3 rounds where it's not, you're like,
I'm gonna die. You know what? I thought of like 5 things to talk about, and then no, the
why
carpet.
tie down?
It's fine. It's set.
If you've ever seen the movie Smart House, the floor will suck it up, clean it up. That's what AI will do for us.
Yes,
Suck up the juice on
Yeah.
the floor, and then they'll rebel.
Party foul.
So, yeah, like 5 things to talk about?
Yeah, and then I forgot all of them.
Yeah. Maybe they'll come back up.
I'm sure they will.
I always think about that too. I'm like, Tuesday, podcast day, this. And then I get here, I'm like, fuck.
If you think we have a plan, we absolutely do not.
We don't.
We don't.
There's some ideas of plans,
Yeah.
but then,
Some like loose ideas.
yeah. Sometimes that's the best though.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta fucking wing it.
Oh, I was listening to Quentin Tarantino's book about like 70s cinema and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like he like went to a lot of like black theaters, and like it wasn't Hollywood. I guess it was more like outside of Hollywood. And that made me like look into the movie Jackie Brown, which is a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's sick.
Yeah, great movie.
Got some like epic dialogue, and then out of nowhere, Robert De Niro just smokes Bridget Fonda because she's being annoying.
Is that the movie where he bangs that chick?
He bangs her.
Yeah.
And they're
Kills
like
her?
like at the like
Yeah.
it's like literally like I'm out of jail, and she's like, you want to have sex? And he like humps her at the kitchen counter, and he's like
That's it, I remember.
humps. He fucks her at the kitchen counter.
Pumps.
Yeah, and he's like, "Meh," and she's like, all right, now we can get to know each other, and you're like, what? Like,
I remember seeing that as a kid, and I was like, I gotta find that movie again.
Yeah.
I was like, mental snapshot.
Yeah.
What is this movie?
yeah.
And I was like, Jackie Brown, that's it.
But no, like that whole like it makes a lot of sense when you understand like he grew up watching blaxploitation like cinema and stuff like that, which I haven't seen a ton of. I don't really know that much of it, but like I know Shaft was like a big one. Like there's a bunch of other ones, but like yeah, like that movie is wild. It's a great movie, great Tarantino movie.
It's been a minute since I've seen it as an like later adult. I watched it when I was like 25 last time. So kind of it's a little muddy, but remember that scene?
Yeah, of course. a lot of men remember that scene.
Yes. Yeah, no, I love Tarantino.
Yeah, same. Now that I know more about him, like his movies are like
he's another foot guy.
Yeah, he's a foot guy.
He's another foot guy.
There's a specific scene. I was dying. She touches Robert De Niro's glass on the table with her feet, and I was like, "Oh."
Who wrote that one in?
Yeah, you're like, all right, bruh.
There's
like,
that scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with that young chick and her
she's got her
finger just
feet
up on the dash.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
you're like, who wrote that?
All right, bro.
Who did that?
Yeah, what you doing there, buddy? Yeah.
A lot of Tarantinos out there.
A lot of Tarantinos watch our podcast.
It's true.
He's like, hey guys, what's your podcast? I see a lot of feet there. That's great.
Not bad.
That's great. That's great.
Bad stuff. I suggest
Yeah.
proper feet up.
Yeah. You guys ever thought about doing a movie?
He didn't direct From Dusk Till Dawn, did he? He was just in it. Didn't Richard Rodriguez, or who did that?
Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez, yeah.
I think they collaborated on that one.
Okay.
I don't know. You got your phone out.
Yeah, I was gonna look it up. Because I love that movie too.
That is also a good movie. That, but you know, like that book, the book that he has about that like 70s cinema. I think I'm on like the second chapter, and he's talking about how in the movie Bullet, which I need to go back and watch because I haven't seen it in so long, the story like is ancillary to basically how cool the characters are.
Yeah.
And like the action.
And
there's a lot of movies like that, which I find interesting. And if you like think about some of his movies, like some of the stuff that happens in his movies are almost completely pointless, but it makes them entertaining.
Yeah, I'm glad they all happen though.
Like Brad Pitt fighting Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
whipping his ass.
Pretty much pointless, but like highly entertaining. And you're just like, that dude's cool as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. And
then you're like, yeah, cool. Like, and then when he beats the fuck out of the Manson family, which didn't happen.
I wish.
And then Leo uses a flamethrower. So funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
because he's high on acid.
Yeah.
He had an acid dip cigarette.
Yeah.
He fucking shucks that can of dog food.
It's so great.
It's beyond satisfying to me.
Yes.
And then when he's like, and the dog just fucking.
Yeah, just.
He's like, what was your name again? He's like, I'm the devil. Or he's like, nah, something stupid.
Yeah.
He's like, Rex,
Rex,
Tex. He's like,
that's what
you're on a horsey. Yeah, great scene. And yeah, I mean, torching a chick in a pool with a flamethrower and just be like, God damn. Like,
yeah.
Also great.
Yeah.
I do appreciate when movies go there. There was a movie I saw that was a Tubi shitty horror one.
Okay.
Dog straight up munches a kid.
Oh.
You're like, whoa, they went there. Like, you're like, you kind of see it and you're like, something's off.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
Is that happening?
And then you're like, oh my God.
Oh no, he fucking munched the kid.
Yep. So, yeah, that entertainment factor.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's why I like movies like that. They're like, they made a movie about the rake or some weird creature, you know. So I'm like, cool, fucking let's watch.
Yeah. No. Speaking of which, if you have Tubi, I think Jackie Brown is on Tubi.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah, because I bought it on Apple, but it said it was on Tubi. So,
I think Brooke's seen that one.
FYI. That's.
There's some good shit on Tubi.
There is, but you're going back to Brooke not having seen movies.
My wife.
Yeah.
Grew up in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't have a lot of exposure to movies, and certain things are there's kind of in like a smaller thing. And then once we started dating, I was like, "Have you seen this movie?" She's like, "No." "Have you seen this movie?" "No." "Have you seen this movie?" Like all like Boondock Saints and American Psycho and like movies you should have seen. And so I'm very gladly was like, let's sit down and watch them. I'll tell you why it's sick. It's very fun.
And then I think the funniest part of that is her interpretation of what's happening during said movies is really fucking funny.
It can be, sometimes it's spot on. She calls it before it. I'm like, good job, yes. Yeah. Yep. And sometimes she's like, this. I'm like, what are you watching? Like, I'm like, which movie are you watching? That's not what's happening at all.
Yeah, you're like, no.
I'm like, I appreciate that interpretation, but this is what's happening.
You're like, where are we?
Yeah, it's my favorite. But it's also, but I get to explain, if I know the plot of the movie, I get to be like, this guy did this when he said that, blah, blah, blah. If it's a movie we both haven't seen, it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
We were talking about the other night, like, she needs to watch Memento, LA Confidential, because that's got like a big plot twist in it, you know, like something like really like, that's just like, shit.
She'll make like pop culture references and not know where they came from. And I'd be like, babe, have you seen that movie? Like, you know what the context is? She's like, nope, just heard people say it. I'm like, we got to watch the cinema behind this.
You're like, well, all right then.
Got to fill in the blanks. And then she's like, oh, okay.
All right. That's so funny though. Like,
it's my favorite. I love it because that adds entertainment. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, sometimes I pause the movie. I'm like, what do you think is happening right now? I want to see if we're on the same page. It's very fun. But there's times I don't know what the fuck is happening in a movie. And she's like, well, this guy did this. And then I'm like, okay. Yeah,
all right.
Sometimes she'll hit the nail on the head. And I'm like,
yeah,
fucking nice. Like, you called it.
I think, I'm trying to think if there's ever been a movie that like really lost me.
I blame myself. Like,
what's up?
I blame myself if I lose. I'm just like, looking at the ceiling.
There's a couple movies that like, they're not bad movies, but they're intentionally either esoteric or very like Mohaul Drive.
Like, I have not seen that.
Watch it and then
report.
Yeah, tell me. Like, I watched it.
And you'll be like, what do you think is happening right now?
Like, I don't even think of that. You'll be like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. And I'll be like, I don't
can't exactly,
don't worry about it.
Can't round this out for you. I'm still sussing it out.
It's beautifully shot. Like, there's a lot of like, it's a beautiful movie. There's intrigue there, but at the same time, it's kind of I'm thinking of a word here and I'm losing it, but
that's it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it goes into the region of like what we talked about before, like where it's completely lost in art, like it's like too just it's highfalutin. No, there is a little bit of that, but like the movie in and of itself, like, I don't know, it's surreal. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
It's very surreal. Like, has like a mystical, like, kind of like weird like shift to it, but there's still a good story. So
I don't know. I can't imagine they're remotely similar, but have you ever seen Midsummer? Shot really cool, vibrant colors, all this like crazy storyline shit.
Yeah.
Disturbing as fuck, and weird and gross, and like, but you can't look away, like kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch that again. So I have to like wait 5 years to watch it.
That's like the Joker.
Yeah.
Like the original Joker. Like, I haven't seen the second one. I'm not sure I want to.
Yeah.
Because the first one was so good.
I heard the second one wasn't as fun.
It's got Tim Dillon in it, but.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Brian Callen was in the first one.
Yeah, but the first one, like, watching it, working in a hospital and having dealt with mental patients, it's like truly watch somebody from the outside. And was it Arthur Fleck is his name in that movie?
Yeah.
His descent into madness is like, I've seen that physically happen, like not with the laugh and like the murder, but like I've dealt with people who have like burned their own house down with their kid in it. Jesus and Christ. Like they're just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then they're not like ha, 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 or anything like that.
But
because it's like the effect of the like actual character from the comics, but the like descent into madness, the belief, like all that stuff, like I watched it and I was like, ooh, this is like watching like work.
Like, I know
like,
people that have done this. Like,
yeah, I've met them. Like I've contact with that for like years and years and years and years. So that was, I mean, it's masterful. Like I bought it and watched it knowing I'd probably only watch it at least like once every couple of years.
yeah, it's one you gotta like kind of sit down or set aside for a while. Like
I told my wife, I was like, don't watch it. She's like, why? I said, you will not like it. I was like, it'll make you depressed.
yeah, oh yeah.
And she's like, is that bad? I said, no, it's not bad. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, but even I will not watch it.
It's
I watched it.
Feel weird.
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out, and then like when it first came out on video, bought it, over it, good. But yeah, like I won't go back to it for
like
another couple of years.
Yeah, movies sometimes like that are like big and blah, I'll like watch 7 times in a row and just like try and pick up everything. I'm like, oh, I missed that.
Yep.
Not that. I was like, one and done. I was like,
one and done.
Got it.
Yeah.
Smoke De Niro. All right. Speaking of De Niro again.
Yeah, smoke the dudes on the subway, smoke De Niro.
Smoke that dude in his apartment.
Yep.
With the midget guy there.
The midget, yeah.
He was nice to that guy. Let him go.
He was, yeah.
He's like, you're always nice to me. He gave him a kiss on the top of the head and let him out. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, that performance, that tone, that feel, it's wild. Like that whole thing, like masterful. That whole movie was masterful.
Yeah.
It really shows, like, if you don't know, and this isn't like a cinema podcast, but like, fuck it, we're here now.
You like movies?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. Is I wanted to be a director for years and years and years.
There you go. Now
Maybe I still will be.
We got to direct something.
But Todd Phillips like started out directing like hard comedies, like Old School. That's Todd Phillips. He's the orgy dude.
Okay.
Yeah, like Todd Phillips is like legit. Like
it's kind of like Jordan Peele doing like
Yeah.
Key and Peele, and then doing like Get Out and like all
yeah,
those
like doing all those like crazy good horror
movies.
movies. He's like literally like opened up like true horror. Like,
I think if you're like that deep into comedy,
Yeah.
you're kind of that deep into horror because it's the same kind of like parallel fucked upness to whether you laugh at it or cry at it. Like, so it's like you can look at it in a funny, light way, haha, or you can be like, look at this is fucking, it's fucking insane.
But no, like those like that shift of like him being like becoming like a serious director. I hope to God he fucking directs comedies because he did like the original Hangover.
Yeah,
It was Todd Phillips.
yeah.
Like, come
Genius.
on, dude. Like, yeah,
Classic.
like
Well, it's almost like maybe he'll dabble in the horror and the weirdness, and then come back with some even more layers. And make it. Well, like there's that new movie coming out that's like a horror comedy, like with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd.
Okay.
I think it's called Friends or something, but like it's like funny and shit, but it like gets weird.
It's like a dark comedy.
So, I love Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
Hilarious. There's someone who broke down his show. I think you should leave. They're like, this is the ADHD mind. Like the way his sketches like don't necessarily end well or whatever. Sometimes like the way it skips and like hops and then like reconnects. Just like left field shit. I'm like, that's why I thought it was funny.
Yes.
And then I showed it to other people, and they're like, this is not funny. And I was like, that's fine.
I think you're wrong.
You're wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Or I'm just fucking stupid, but but I'm okay with it. I like it.
But no, that shift from like comedic like directing to like his like serious directing of like the Joker. Yeah, it was definitely like
there's like the wittiness of comedy, and like it goes dark as fuck all the time. Comedy can get so dark, but I think there's like an element to the Joker that there was the comedy element that was like supposed to be there, and then it was kind of like plucked.
I mean, it in the true sense, like if you're like taking it back to like how Aristotle defines like comedy is like a flaw in somebody and it becomes like funny, whereas like a tragedy is like there's this ingrained flaw and it leads to like a dark path. So it's like kind of a like truly like a blend of those two ideas. Like it's tragic, but it's tragic and comedic.
I like the path into the absurd kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, because it does have elements of both.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like, it is absurd. Like, it is tragic. But in that same sense, like, Arthur Fleck's, like, irredeemable. Like, and then he just, like, gets set free by himself because he just kills people. And then he has, like, a crowd, a following.
I was talking to my wife earlier.
Yeah.
About it's kind of a connection. Like, I was like, man, I'm watching videos of like people getting shot, and then the comment section is like, good, fuck them like this, they deserved it. I'm like, that's like Joker-esque style shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everyone's just going nuts behind their keyboards, like, like I'm just like not interested.
Well,
it
like
makes me feel uncomfortable.
It's like the whole thing, like the whole thing of like the United Healthcare CEO getting shot. People like celebrated that, and I'm like, if that was your cousin, you'd be losing your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
That's
like,
it's such.
He made decisions and other people died. Like, did he though?
Like
they act like
he had his hands on policy shit every day.
Like you act like he made them sick.
Right.
Like they're deifying this dude who made some money.
You can't go and smoke people in the street.
Yeah.
Unless they're a pedophile or something. Then you should.
Oh, what?
Like that guy at the airport or whatever when they're
that old video. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I love that video. I watch it once a year.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, for real. Fuck yeah. Got him.
Got him. But no, like
But like just that type of street justice or whatever you want to call it, like I got him, like, and then everyone's like, yep, you got him, fuck him.
Yeah,
it's cold-blooded shit.
It is, like, and I'm not opposed to violence at all, neither are you.
100% like, the answer sometimes.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It has to be. But it's
also don't smoke people in the street. Like, unless you absolutely fucking have to.
And the whole, like, United Healthcare CEO thing, like, the dude wasn't even insured by them. Like, what's the tie there? Like, what's the, like, it's just like, I think I want to be famous. I think that's literally what it was. Like, if I'm going to be in pain, if my taint is going to hurt the rest of my life, like my lower spine and taint, like, I'm just going to be famous. I'm going to shoot this dude. Like, I read a book and I'm radicalized now. Like, cool. Way to not think for yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, all right, dork. Like,
yeah. All right, dick. Like,
well, like, yeah, when people do shit like that, it's kind of like, come on, critical thinking. Let's work through this.
Yeah, let's work through this. Like, I understand you're in pain. Yeah. Why are you fucking shooting this dude?
Yeah.
Like,
in the back, you know?
Yeah.
Whack.
Weak.
I think they're like, I'm not a person to be like, movies and video games influence violence. Yeah. There's an element that like empathy starts to be like, taken away for an entertainment factor or some weird thing or some sort of fame factor. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sane thinking, but I think I'm more sane than some people. I'm not shooting CEOs in the street, so.
I mean, the thing about like videos and it's not wrong for art to inspire certain things, but when you're talking about it solely being art's fault, like a writing, like a painting, a movie, a video game, like you as an individual can be influenced, but then that means you have a choice at some point. Like, where did you, like, you made a choice to kill that person. You can't be like, this book made me kill somebody.
It's like,
yeah, you're just fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that goes back to the whole, like, Arthur Fleck thing. Like, he's a victim of whatever. Nah, he made a choice. He shot people. He killed people. Like,
Yeah.
he's a victim of his circumstance. No, he could have chosen not to do those things.
Yeah. And he did.
Yeah, but
now look at him. Gets his ass whipped by Batman all the time. So.
Yeah. Bitch.
Robert Pattinson whips your fucking ass.
Yeah,
reevaluate some life choices.
yeah, there's a lot of different things, like talking about like video games and stuff like that, lowering the inhibitions to like kill people. Like, I've played a lot of video games and never been like, oh yeah, this makes it so much easier to kill somebody.
Call
like, I
of
know
Duty
the difference.
Came out, one of the Call of Duties, I think the second one or whatever, when I was, I don't know, sophomore, junior in high school.
Yeah.
We played campaign mode. There's a scene where you're a terrorist and you're walking through an airport just mowing people down.
Yeah.
Never have I thought back, yeah, I should do that. Like,
You're like, I'm totally a terrorist now.
yeah, I'm like, whoa, this is dark.
Yeah.
Finish this level quick.
Like, well.
But, yeah, I don't know.
That always blew me away that people were like, yeah, we're going to blame this. And
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand.
It's a whack argument. It's weak.
Yeah, it's weak.
It's a weak argument.
And there's like people that I respect. Fuck. Forget his name now.
You don't respect him that much.
No, I mean, I've like,
Just kidding.
he wrote On Killing and On Combat, which are phenomenal books.
Yeah.
And
Shit.
yeah, that guy. He wrote another book talking specifically about how he thinks, from a psychological standpoint, because that's his job. He is a psychiatrist or psychologist. That video games and violent music and all this stuff have influenced kids to be more violent. And it's like, but that's the same argument like military training just makes you a killer.
Yeah. I think
Like,
yeah.
and he's in the military. They'd be like, you're a killer, you're in the military. He'd be like, I'm not. And I'd be like, prove me wrong then. It's the same thing as you saying that video games make everybody a killer.
Yeah.
Like, you've been through elite ranger training. Like, okay. Like, does that make you a killer?
You know how to read a map.
Yeah.
Stuff wounds and
You know how to read a map. You know how to find people and shoot them in the head. You're
That's
a fucking
it.
killer. Like,
No, I think you're.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. Those people are still people. And
Yeah.
a lot of times, like military stuff, they're kind of forced to do rough shit.
Well, and that there's still a choice.
Right.
Like, yes, you are making a choice to fulfill a mission, and there's a psychological toll for anybody who's killed anybody, and I haven't. I've never taken a life. Like, but like, there is a psychological toll for the people that I know that have. Like, there's problems.
Yeah.
Like, everybody I know who's ever killed anybody, they're not just like, it's okay. No, they're not. No, they're never like that. And he openly admits that he never has. And it's his information, like, about violence, about killing, about combat, like, all that stuff. It's based on interviews because he hasn't had those experiences. So at least he takes that degree. But I think, like, losing the plot on that kind of stuff is interesting, like, where he crosses that line into, like, oh, well, if you do this, like, you're definitely more violent. Like, it's a choice. It's always a choice. Like, yes. Can those things lower your inhibitions? Yeah, but at some point you have to decide whether that's going to be the final answer.
Yeah.
Like, you as the individual.
Well, then, like you have X amount of people who do a
Yeah.
thing, and then afterward they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Then you also have
Yeah.
X amount of people who do something, and they're like, fine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And that's mentality. Like,
Yeah.
But it just be like, oh, that was just because I played so many video games. Like, what?
Dumb.
Yeah, like, it doesn't
Doesn't add up.
track for me.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
So, I'll never forget, we were in Kyrgyzstan, and we just gotten out of Afghanistan. we're in Kyrgyzstan, and we got held at the base because the country was like devolving into like chaos and anarchy. There was a separatist group who had taken over, and they were in the capital, which was like, I think no more than 20 miles away. So really close to the international airport where the Air Force, United States Air Force, had a base. And so the Air Force used that base, and we used the base as a base to come in and out of Afghanistan. This is this is early 2010, like May-ish.
Okay.
A little bit earlier than that. We left in May.
I was in high school and you were in Kyrgyzstan.
I was in Kyrgyzstan, yeah. So we're there. Their country like completely implodes, and they pull back all Americans they can get back onto this base.
Real quick, what's Kyrgyzstan like? Like, is it like Afghanistan, like mountainous and deserts and shit?
So it is at the foothills of the Hindu Kush.
Okay.
But it is a former Soviet bloc country, so like there's Soviet shit everywhere. It's very weird. You can tell like it was in line with Mongolia. So it's like they came here and then they went down. So the same, if you don't know this, most of the areas where you still go to war are where the Mongolians went to war, or where the British went to war, like all that stuff. Still. So the Russians are there. The Russians took over that part of the world, and then they went south into Afghanistan. Same thing with the British.
Was that during the 80s when Afghanistan went in? Like,
yeah.
Interesting.
So Kyrgyzstan is a former Soviet bloc country. They have buildings like that everywhere, like something you would see out of a movie. Like when we went onto the base, like you landed, got put on a bus, and like we're driving in, and I'm like, huh, okay. And then also they're cultural. They have these yurts, like these tents that are Mongolian.
Sick.
And there's also as a part of their culture, they have hawking, like hawks and stuff like that. Falconry, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And there's a lot of Mongolian descent people in that country. So like very beautiful, like Russian Mongolian women.
Wow.
Just like straight hair like most Asians, but like they have like very soft features, like lighter skin, and they have like the narrow eyes. And they're clearly Asian, but they speak Russian.
Interesting. Okay.
So in that country, like there's murals of like people with like falcons on their arms and horses, and they're in these like cultural tents, which are Mongolian, but Kyrgyzstan. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, like where was I going with this?
I interrupted you, but
no, you're good. No, it's a good question though. But being there, so like this was as we were leaving. They pulled the Peace Corps back onto our base to protect them because the country was devolving into like chaos. And the Peace Corps had been out like amongst the locals, and like they're, doing a lot of like education and like helping, like educating them on like nutrition and like cleanliness and stuff like that, because it is a very like low education, like poverty like country. And one of them was telling us like, oh yeah, they eat candy like all the time. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, they eat candy instead of like protein and like carbs. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, they'll eat candy for a meal because they like it. Okay. And then there happened to be this girl who was from Ohio, and like we knew some of the same places. I was saying, oh yeah, I'm from the area, like this is where I'm from. And she's like, oh my god, like I went there. And then like we start talking for a little while, like just friendly conversation. And she looks at me and she goes, how does it feel to be a killer? And I was like, I just laughed my ass off. I was like, I've never killed anybody. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm in the Marine Corps. I was like, but I've never killed anybody. And I was like, most people in this room never have killed anybody. I was like,
I never will. Like,
and I was like, I'm going to stop you right there. I was like, are we trained to do war? Yes. I was like, but does that make us killers? I was like, no more than you. And she was like, what? And I said, I was like,
you're also like, look around.
Yeah, like
war.
Yeah, like we're protecting you.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts.
Like, you're alive, bitch. Like because of idiots like me.
You should have been like, it feels good, and you walk away.
I thought about it, but I like really, I was like, fuck it. I have nothing else to do.
Right.
Like, I might as well engage this fucking twit with like probably like a fucking master's degree. Like, yeah, you probably haven't even read like more than 3 books. Like, cool, bitch. Like, it. So like I saw her like the next day, and I was like, I said her name. I said hi, how are you doing? And she's like, and I was like, we talked yesterday. She's like, I know. Like, okay, like, bye. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo.
Yeah. You made it weird.
Like, first of all, like, we're from the same area. Like, why not talk about it? But yeah, like, how does that feel to be a killer? How does it feel to be a fucking retard?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get over yourself.
That's such
Like,
a stupid statement.
You're literally enjoying the comfort of my sacrifice right now.
You're like, what if I left?
Yeah. Why don't
Then
I
what?
just kick you outside the base?
I'll leave you a gun and see what you do with it.
Yeah. Probably one of the more entertaining. I just laughed right in her face, and I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, what do you mean? She's like, how does it feel to be a killer? I said, I'm not a killer. It's like, I've never killed anybody. I said, do I have training to take a life? Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, but
The U.S. military is sick.
yeah, I was like, let
You
me
got
just like roll back there and like give you some reality. And I like kind of talked her through. I was like, that's not my job. And she's like, what do you mean? It's like, I just give people bullets. I was like, so in effect, sure, do I affect people dying downrange? I was like, yes. I was like, but do I kill them directly? No.
You're like, do I kiss the bullets every time I give them to someone? Yes, but
yeah. Do I have a vat of pig's blood? Yes. That didn't happen. I'm fucking with all of you.
Do I write infidel on every bullet? Maybe, but
maybe in blood.
It's fine.
Don't be bitches about it. Shut the fuck up.
Different times.
No
different
war
place.
crimes were committed. Maybe.
I was watching videos and someone was just like, kind of breaking down like, this is a war zone and blah blah blah, and someone's like, yeah, war crimes everywhere. Like basically, a war zone is war crimes.
War crimes,
just going on.
War crimes. Yeah.
Which, if you read into a lot of things, World War II, World War One, yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking Geneva Convention, pussies. But no, like that was probably one of the more like hilarious conversations I've ever had. Like, and it didn't last long. They had brought like all these, they had like protected like all the arts and cultures and like brought them onto our base. So we had like the local ballet troupe performing for us. Like we the U.S. military pulled them onto our base to protect that cultural like artifact that is like maybe gone because the so if you don't know, outside the U.S., Al Jazeera is actually a relatively reliable news source. I'm not saying it's not propaganda. Most news is.
Yeah.
No matter what. It's red, blue, we're cutting heads off. It's all fucking propaganda.
Somebody's dying and we're all wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, like Al Jazeera was being played in the DFACs, which are where you eat, the chow hall, the DFAC, the mess hall, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And like we're sitting there like eating stuff and we're watching what's happened 20 miles away, and it's like dudes with AKs who are the separatists, like they're revolutionaries, mowing down the local police who have 9mm and non-ballistic riot shields, getting shot in the head with AKs. And then they cut the vice prime minister's head off, paraded it through the streets, and the leader of the separatists was a woman, and she's like on TV like all Yoko Ono, like,
oh no,
bitch broke up the Beatles, bitch broke up the Kyrgyzstan.
Good
What?
Lord.
But yeah, like, and it's like, how do you feel to be a killer? Like, I don't know, you want to fucking walk over to like, you want to walk over to the capital and talk about who's killing who? Like, shut the fuck up.
That's insane.
Shut the fuck up.
The Yoko Ono thing made me think of a video where John Lennon and Chuck Berry are playing, and Yoko Ono's in the background like, bah, 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 like doing crazy shit.
Chuck Berry's like,
and the audio guy yanked her cord.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry goes like this.
Yeah, and the audio goes like,
the audio guy yanks her, and he's just like goes back.
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I know she's still alive, but I don't care. You suck, Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
All of your art sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Come at me.
Yeah. Yeah. Come at me from your wheelchair.
Yeah. Shit. I don't care.
Yeah. Leave me in your will because I hate you. Here, let me play you a Yoko Ono song. Okay,
She's
there
like,
you
I
go.
left you all
Greatest hit.
Dog's bags of shit. Damn.
I'd be like, this is Yoko Ono's dog
I would
shit.
sell that shit on eBay.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
somebody wants it.
I'd be like, this is art.
This is art. This is very dark. Dark art.
But no, yeah, like, oh man, I'll never
crazy.
forget that. Like,
Yeah, that's insane.
that was
That's an
like,
insane interaction to have anywhere, but especially 20 miles away from
an active revolution.
like people getting
Like-
their heads cut off and shit, and be like,
Yeah.
"How do you feel being
How do
a
you
killer?"
be a killer? I don't know. Why don't you ask these? They're freedom fighters.
How about you ask
is
the guy
that?
with a bloody machete?
Yeah.
I'm like, ask him how it feels to be a fucking
Oh,
killer.
did I ever tell you the other story from that time I was there?
Please do.
So, there was intelligence that the separatists were moving on the international airport. So, we're a non-victor unit, which means we're a non-combat unit. But I think there were 2 combat-ready units. There was an Army unit and a Marine unit on that base who were infantry units. And so all of our weapons were locked up. We had no ammunition, but they had been able to access the bases ammunition with the Air Force security forces. So the PX there, or whatever the Air Force calls there, it's probably something fancy. It was basically like Bloomingdale's Air Force, whatever. If you're in the Air Force, I still love you, but you all suck. So we're in their store on base one day.
That's what I was thinking of the store, the PX.
Yeah,
My buddy used to be like, I used to buy ribbits out the ass there.
Yeah.
They're like, that shit will fucking. I'm like,
Not on
yes.
an Air Force base. They'll be like, what's a ribbit?
Yeah.
Is that champagne? No. Shut up.
No, dude.
They were allowed to drink there. That was forward deployed, and they were allowed to drink on that base. 2 drinks a day. Now, when I say 2 drinks, you're like, oh, like a can like this? No, it was like a 24-ounce can that was 20% alcohol. It was some crazy
Yeah, you're
it was
overseas.
basically a 4 Loco.
It's over. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unregulated, probably.
Yeah.
Right? There's let it rip, dog.
And they're like, this is dangerous out here. I mean,
It's
at the time,
original Four Loco recipe.
Yes.
Like,
the Russians are like, let the Americans drink.
they're like pussies.
Yeah. You will be fine. 20 ounces. More like 40. No. So we're in this store, and they're like, oh my God, there's armored personnel carriers coming on the runway. And I'm like, fuck. And so they're like, all right, everybody has to shelter in place. And it's me, 3 of my friends, a Navy medic, and then a couple Army guys. And so the civilians in the store, I'm like, hey man, give me the knives. And he's like, no. And I'm like, what? I'm like, there's dudes with AKs potentially coming this way, and you're not going to break a knife out of a package. And he's like, what if they come? We can do that. And I said, okay, fuck you.
Yeah.
So we're standing in the store. He goes and finds something, and he finds this extendable golf club, and he hands me this golf club. Me and my buddy, who's a medic, who's in the Navy, because the Marine Corps doesn't have medics. So we're standing there, and I look at the medic, he looks at me, and we both set the golf clubs to one side, and I said, that shit's gay. I was like, I'm not doing that. And so we started looking around for chemicals, make improvised bombs and stuff. And there's these little, we're at posted at the back of the store.
Why aren't they giving you guys guns?
So that's the thing, our guns, our actual rifles that were assigned to us are a quarter of a mile away, but we have to stay there.
Okay.
So there's knives, there's all this stuff in the store, and I said,
give me something.
I was like, if this shit goes down, I said, fuck that, dude. All these knives are coming out. I said, anything heavy is coming with us. I said, if we can make a bomb, I said, we're doing that shit. So we're standing there at the back of the store, and he and I are the highest rank Navy and Marine in there. The Air Force people, God bless them, are all tech people. They're literally on their phones complaining to somebody somewhere else that they're in this store.
No shit.
Now, luckily, none of this happened to pan out, but we were standing there for more than 4 hours, basically guarding this store with civilians. they pulled all the people from all the ancillary shops, put them in there with us. So all the people that did like massages, haircuts, like ran the food stands were in there with us. They had this dude who was a part of the infantry unit from the Army came in our store and was like, hey man, I need this. And I said, get the fuck out of here right now. And he's like, what do you mean? I just need a D-clip. I said, do you need it to kill people? He said, no. I said, then fuck off. I was like, this dickhead won't even give me a knife. I said, you think I'm going to give a D-ring to you? Well, I was going to buy it. And I said, I don't fucking care. Leave now.
Right now.
I said, give me your gun or leave. Yeah. And he said, what? And I said, you fucking heard me. So we were just standing there for 4 hours, basically waiting to see if we were going to
get over,
have to fight somebody with an AK.
Jesus Christ.
So we're watching, and me and this dude are planning. The highest ranked enlisted Army dude was in there, was infantry, and he's like, you all in the Marine Corps? I said, obviously. And he's like, all right. He's like, well, me, you, and this dude. He's like, I trust you more than anybody else in this store. I said, cool.
He's like, it's us, boys.
Yeah, literally, it was I was like, all right. I was like, me and this dude are gonna take the back. He's like, done. He's like, I'll take the front. He's like, your boys up here and here. I said, that's fine. I said, they know what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, of all the things to be like, no, you can't have this knife. Shut the fuck up.
Bro, they're coming.
Yeah,
give me the knife.
Yeah, give me the knife. Give me the, you found a golf club. Great. You want me to attach the knife to this golf club?
That's insulting as hell, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was really insulting.
I'd
and
smack
I was
him with it. I'd be like, there's a shin shot with the fucking 9 on you, bitch.
And it was a driver that collapsed, and you could pull it out, and it locked open. It was really fucking funny, and I just set it to the side, and I was like,
you know, hit balls into a sand dune or something?
Yeah, it was really entertaining. Luckily, nothing happened. It was very fortunate, because they literally pushed the grunt units out to the walls. They had their security. Nope. No, nothing happened. Nothing came to the airport.
They said they were coming to the airport, but they never got there.
It was bad intelligence.
That's
so I'm assuming what happened is those rebel forces were there's two grunt units there. They probably got communications hey, there's
know?
2 American infantry units there, and a shit ton of American military that are not grunts, but there's a Marine element there.
They're pretty pissed off.
Yeah, not that every Marine is truly a rifleman. I know, some people just suck. It's fine. I
feel like they're better than the guy in flip flops. You know.
I don't know. Some of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So one of the awards I have from the military is the ISAF. What is it? I suck at fighting. Was what the nickname for it, or I fight in sandals and flip flops.
God damn. That's hilarious.
But yeah, say what you will, oh man, when we were in Afghanistan, God bless those Afghani people. The Afghani people that were in the ANA were disgusting. Hygiene is, it's non-existent. We used to go into the internet place where there was TV, but there was computers, and the dudes would be the Afghani police force would be playing pool, and I shit you not, they had little girls flip-flops that covered this much of their foot with a flower on top, and it's you're ugh, but it's to them having anything that worked was it worked. It didn't matter. They didn't have that. It's not there's a fucking flip-flop shop in Kabul. Nah, the Taliban fucking shut that shit down.
Right.
So
not having it.
But yeah, no, it was definitely an interesting time. Let's put it that way. So some funny stuff, but also just wild. Luckily I avoided all that ladyboy dudes fucking little kids and stuff like that. I didn't have to deal with that, thank God. There would have been some dead Afghanis buried on our base.
Yeah.
We didn't deal with that. Shit. We already had problems with the adults fucking each other in the showers and stuff like that. The grunt units had to deal with that. We didn't have to deal with it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're whose job is this?
Yeah, they were bro, we caught 2 of them fucking in the porta-johns. Oh.
Ew.
Oh. Yo.
Snoop.
Whatever, man. Hashtag Pride Month. But yeah, like it. Definitely a wild time. But yeah, like the whole like, are you a killer?
That's insane.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what to think about that.
You can't. You can just say it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're straight up dumb.
It was. I kind of wanted to be like, you have no idea. Like, you're here. Like, you see how awful like these people live. Like, they eat candy because they don't know any better. Like, what do you think? Like, I'm a killer because I'm an educated killer. Like, okay.
Because you're there with a Marine outfit on?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Right. But yeah, that whole thing was really funny. So, if you're in the military, I hope to God you don't deploy anytime soon with all the shit that's going on.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
A little too much going on over the pond.
I mean, not saying I wouldn't, but I've already done my shit. And I don't know. World War III doesn't sound too enticing.
I'm uninterested.
It's
here.
You're still young. But yeah, no,
I'm a podcast.
I do podcasts, sir.
I'm a podcaster. I can't go to war.
Yeah. Well, I'll go back to Canada. No, yeah.
I mean, if fucking boots touch the ground here, it's a different story, dog.
Yeah, good luck,
Different
bitch.
story.
Never start a land war in China. Never start a land war here.
There's a gun behind every blade of grass.
I was going to say, people defend other Americans from their own territory. You won't think there'll be the Battle of fucking Compton?
Wherever it is. Like, it'll be... The night sky will be illuminated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't invade America.
There's more guns than people. Guns
the way
don't
that
kill
they
people.
get guns.
I kill people with guns. Little Jean Lejoie from back in the day.
He was the man.
So funny, dude.
I loved his videos.
Dude, he's fucking hilarious. He still is.
Then he was Taco on The League.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic show.
And I think he got out of stuff. I haven't seen him in anything. Like, I think he was done.
Think he's just living off his taco royalties?
I hope so.
From Taco Corp?
Taco Corp, yeah. The Taco Corp money's coming in.
The P-Bib.
That
Rocking
YouTube
the P-Bib.
money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a sexual tiger.
Show me your genitals. Your genitals. Show me your genitals. Your genitalia.
That was like prime YouTube.
That was
early
prime
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Before
You couldn't
anything.
even make that video now.
Right. Yeah.
They'd be like, we don't want to prove. Like,
you can't say penis.
yeah.
Oh, my thumb just cramped.
Oh.
My salts are off.
Oh. All right. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
I'll do it.
See you guys.
Bye.
Are you a killer? Bye.